Mike Moore went 19-11 this year. He threw the only 3 complete game shutouts. Steve Palermo. Hasse with the sign, Moore with the pitch. Wrapped down to first. McGuire will do it himself.
We talked about the lineup and the offensive changes, and of course you don't get that quick home run from Canseco.
Toronto only in the season's last 2 months after the deal that brought him over from the Mets. Squibber right at Lansford, who was in close. Lansford led American League third baseman in fielding percentage in both 87 and 88, but his error total went up a bit this year. Less than 2 walks per 9 innings. But in his 16 other starts, he averaged 5 walks per 9 innings. There's the forkball. The bottom just drops out. He gets the strikeout and sets the Jays down 1-2-3 in the first.
Sometimes Todd Stottlemyre has a problem when he's throwing in the low 90s, wanting to throw 3 or 4 miles an hour faster. Now Woodmire's worked.
2 stolen bases and the crucial takeout slide on Liriano as the game turned in the 6th. Toward the hole, here's Fernandez. He plants and throws. Safe.
Wow, did Freddie McGriff pull his foot off the bag? Freddie didn't look like he really stretched out.
For the Red Sox. 2-1 pitch. The runner going. Line drive. Fernandez has it. And hello, Ricky. Double play.
And Tony wisely doesn't waste a throw. He just tags him instead of throwing it across the diamond.
Last year in the deal that sent Tim Burtsis and Jose Rio to the Reds. 0-1 pitch. He does pop it left field. Gruber goes back and makes the catch. It appeared that he was consciously trying to go the other way.
Moore have the 2 best ones, but he likes to talk about Welch's and Storm Davis's also.
Liner to left, and it's going to drop in front of Ricky Henderson for Bell's 2nd hit of the series.
I think a forkball that was a little bit up, still way ahead of it on the end of.
Ken Howell, the former Dodger, now with the Phillies, led the majors with 21. He walks him on 4 pitches. Now as Ernie Witt walks to the plate, let's flash back to the top of the 4th last night.
But that's been typical of Blue Jays teams.
Struck him out. Tony, sometimes in the last 3-4 years around baseball, we hear the terms split finger and forkball.
To stay away from it.
0-1 to Gruber. And he skies one to left center. Dave Henderson has room. Bell retreats to second, looking to tag. He's going to move up to third. The throw properly comes to second to keep the force play in order and keep Fernandez out of scoring position. And now
how much does the forkball tumble? How hard is the fastball? What's the movement on it? What does the slider do? How much does it bite?
They try it again, and here's the throw. They got him.
Oh,
it
no.
worked, but they got to watch the play at the plate now. Throw to third, back safely, and it backfires on the Oakland A's. They wind up giving up a base to Fernandez. Had McGuire chased him, he was afraid Bell was going to score. Base. Now the 1-2. Mazzilli drives one to right, but Javier almost in his tracks ends the inning. And Moore tiptoes through a minefield unscathed.
Off third and has a chance to score. And maybe that was in the scouting report, to beware of this play.
0-1 pitch to Mark. He rifles one to left for a leadoff hit.
So the Blue Jays, as last night in the 2nd inning, where they looked like they had.
He has never pitched a complete game in 34 big league starts. Got under it, skies it to left center. Mosby and Bell each wants it, and the center fielder properly takes it.
Because that area is the sun field and might get a little bit worse, and insisted upon better defensive alignment because of the spacious sky dome you'll see a couple of days from now.
Moore has it, and on the comebacker, Liriano is retired.
You know, there were times where some of the Blue Jays players defensively were so stubborn that they wouldn't move even when told to. Cena said, when my guy John McLaren tells you to.
With 3 Ks, they won without him 7-3. 2-2 pitch. Line to center. It's in there for a hit. Cut off by Dave Henderson. Mosby's aboard with 1 out here in the 3rd.
And when he looked up in the bright sun or bright sky, that may have caused him problems.
High chopper. McGuire charging, tough play, and he boots the ball as Wilson goes by. Meanwhile, Mosby sprints to 3rd.
Very alert base running by Mosby. He saw the ball all the way, did not need any help from his third base coach.
Baltimore Orioles, former Cy Young Award winner. The 1-1 pitch. Mookie goes. Bouncing ball. It's going to get a run home. They stay out of the double play because the runner was going. And Mosby crosses with the game's first run.
We talked about that last night. Cito Gaston has figured this out with
Bell, Fernandez, Manny Lee, Nelson Liriano, and Jose Nunez with them during the regular season and playoff ineligible, all from the Dominican Republic. Opposite way, but McGuire backpedals and makes the catch. Blue Jays break through with a run here in the 3rd. We'll be right back.
And a couple of things. One is to try and soften the front leg. He has that recoil with that stiff front leg, which is a little bit harder on the arm. There's a little slider that all but backed up in a bad spot, and he got away with it because he throws it so hard. And also, Widmar focuses on balance.
Canseco hit 17 home runs and drove home 57. Ground ball, second base, Liriano, easy play. 2 down here in the last of the 3rd with Toronto leading 1-0.
You know, some of the problems for Toronto when they go on dirt and grass, they may not seem obvious, but they are. He has to make on the run. He can't really get down on the ball. Boy, what a brilliant fielder he was all last year.
Left center field, Mosby and Bell. Again, they converge, and this time Lloyd lets George take it. So, Stottlemyre sets them down in order. 1-0 Toronto.
Earlier this season set him back a lot. He came back much more quickly than anybody thought he would or could.
In fact, came back against Oakland and doubled in his first at-bat. Sharply to McGuire. An unassisted put out from Mark.
Well, you get a good chance to see what that forkball does to a hitter. It fools you in so many ways. I mean,
ERA 2.74 between Seattle and Montreal. 1-1 pitch. Slapped to second. Phillips gobbles it up.
You know, Bob, you think of the King, immediately think of their first-year manager, Jimmy Lefevre. How hard it is to develop a pitching staff, a career, and if you're a pitcher. Balls fly out of their so. It's so frustrating.
Kelly Gruber now. On the first pitch, another chance for Phillips. Moore makes quick work of the Blue Jays in the top half of the 4th after 3.5 in Oakland. Toronto leads game 2, 1-0.
Bill Eaton or any of us ever saw the leadoff men, but Ricky Henderson's got to be among them.
And he draws the walk. The tying run aboard.
The dirt.
Stottlemyre sets, and the 1-0 to Lansford. Ricky goes with throws. Safe.
That was a time when he timed the delivery. One look. Stottlemyre didn't freeze him.
A's trail 1-0, bottom of the 4th. Here's the 1-2 pitch coming to Lansford. He goes again. It's taken high. Here's the throw. He's in there. Henderson, one of the game's premier players for a decade. The infield comes in halfway. And Lansford lines it over them for a hit. And the game is knotted at 1.
It was Ricky's slide yesterday. Today, 2 stolen bases.
By the Mets and Dodgers in the National League last year.
Al Widmar looked like he was getting ready for a trip to the mound, didn't he?
Runner goes. Hit down to McGriff. No play at second. Lansford in scoring position, and Parker retired for the first out.
You saw him hit a high pitch for a home run yesterday. A breaking ball hit a high pitch for a base hit earlier.
Wraps this one fair right over third, and the A's have the lead. Down into the corner with Bell chasing it. A double for McGuire. 2-1 Oakland.
By Tony La Russa.
Struck him out. For Todd Stottlemyre, strikeout number 2.
So with Henderson, we saw a couple of different pitches. The changeup, better what he puts down, I'll guarantee you. he and Todd Stottlemyre have arranged it, but it's tougher on the infielders to move it if you do that.
And a 2-out walk to Hasse, which gives Phillips a chance here with runners at first and second.
That's been their problem for the last month.
Witt flashes the sign. Stottlemyre sets, brings it home on 1 and 2. And Phillips drives one into right center field, but Mosby's got a beat on it. The A's score 2, lead 2. Lansford and McGuire each had big hits, but the series' most dynamic player has been Ricky Henderson. Tony La Russa puts it this way about Duncan, and we'll tell you after this pitch, which Mazzilli bounces to Phillips. A busy day for Tony, and he throws him out. La Russa says if you took every category that would be relevant about a pitching coach, the 4 starters for the A's is going on his normal rest. The others have 6 days between starts. So the kind of work program, as Liriano draws a walk with 1 out here, the kind of work program that Duncan supervises is very important, so these guys don't get out of their groove with the extended rest between outings. A playoff atmosphere for the last 3 or 4 innings last night, but only then. There goes the runner. Good pitch to throw on for Hasse, but Liriano is safe as the throw was high. It was a perfect catcher's pitch, high and outside, but he couldn't catch Liriano.
Out of his crouch in a hurry is tough.
Here's the 2-2 pitch toward the hole. Phillips dives and smothers it. Throws. Got him. It would have been good enough just to save the run and keep it on the infield.
Seen in this, by sound fundamental positioning and play, you give a team less than 27 outs with great plays like that.
Another chance for Phillips. Has to hurry with Mookie running, and gets him. The A's have built a 2-1 lead on Henderson's legs, Lansford and McGuire's bats.
It's all but bounced and gone. Davey Phillips right there almost hit him.
And Javier takes a seat now, becoming strikeout victim number 3 for Todd Stottlemyre. Speaking of the umpires,
when he tried to get a slider down, they both stayed upstairs. A little quicker pace for Stottlemyre now. Change up.
Weiss bounces one to Liriano's left, and Nelson tosses him out.
4-3's become a familiar song thus far in this game, hasn't it? Especially on the Oakland side.
Bottom of the 5th, 2-1 Oakland, trying to take a stranglehold on the series. Through the hole, he's aboard again, all 3 times. He didn't have a hit last night, but he was on 3 times then too. Hit by a pitch once and walked twice.
I don't know when I've seen him.
Then after the trade to Oakland, he was able to play third. The runner going. Fernandez has no play at second base and throws on to first and gets the out there to end the inning. A scoreless 5th. It remains 2-1.
Throws hard. Is a great changeup. Go through the lineup a couple times. The pitcher changes on you.
Left field, Ricky Henderson shading his eyes. And McGriff still can't bust loose.
He's tried about everything. Taking the base on balls. Infielders like to play behind this staff because Dave Duncan insists they keep a relatively quick pace. Don't think too much. Ooh, just
left center field, but he got under it.
Hanging slider.
Which Henderson will it be? Center fielder Dave.
And you can see what happened. Ricky Henderson looking into the sun.
Fernandez has walked and grounded out. Has 1 hit in the series. Sharply to short. Comes up nicely for Weiss. In the top half of the 6th, Mike Moore makes a key move through the heart of the Blue Jay order, retiring the 3rd, 4th, and 5th hitters. Your World Series win. Only one of them can take a champagne bath this fall. Game 1, the Giants and the Cubs, as Parker launches one to deep right center. This may get out of here. Gone. The Cobra comes hissing into the dugout.
Cobra's target.
A bullet down the left field line, and a third straight hit for McGuire. Might be only a single as Bell plays the carom, and that's what it is. A 330-foot single.
That may be it for Todd Stottlemyre. Zip has gone to the fastball. He got through the last inning with the sinker ball.
Giamacher, who worked last night. Dave Henderson lifts one to right center field. Mosby to the track. It's really carrying, and the ball bounces over the fence for a ground rule double, which means that McGuire has to stop at third. Mosby went after that ball as though he had it all the way, and it wound up actually being closer to Mookie Wilson.
Not quite halfway. He may creep a little bit.
This should get a run home. Mosby into left center field. McGuire tags. So does Dave Henderson. Henderson sprinting for third. The throw heads that way, and he's in. So's McGuire with the fourth run. 2 of every 3 at home this year, and they were 48 and 18 in day games. Base hit over McGriff. Henderson trots home. Phillips comes through. 5-1 Oakland.
Lineup. You can get him against a left-hander like David Wells, who's a fastball pitcher, throws hard.
Runner goes. And no throw.
A great curveball snapped off the table. It looked like Fonseca was looking fastball. He did not like the call. But the Oakland Athletics continue to run at will. So they know what the tendencies of a catcher and a pitcher are to throw in a certain situation.
Fonseca strikes out for the 4th time in 5 at-bats in the series.
With him, though, it's usually just a matter of time. Wells, Acker already in this game.
3-2 pitch. It's sharply to Fernandez's left. That'll do it. So sleepwalking David Wells finally gets them out of the 6th, but Cito's got to think of something to do about the somnambulant bats. And
the pitcher gets overlooked. Unfortunately, it happened to be Dave Stewart too often.
Witt with a battling at-bat, but it comes to a close with McGuire retiring him unassisted. 12 out of 13 retired by Mike Moore.
Aside.
2-2 pitch. Did Gruber go around? Yep. Dan Morrison punches him out of there. Only the 3rd strikeout for Moore. His first since the 2nd inning. During the regular season, he fanned 172.
Boston, or Mattingly does in Yankee Stadium in right field, and you don't have a short field. A lot of those fly balls all over the park to track down.
Ricky Henderson comes in. Walt Weiss goes out, and it's Ricky's play. 3 up, 3 down. He's retired 14 of 15. Here's another edition of Rules of the Game in 8 plate appearances. Any grade school kid could tell you that's one of the keys to their offense. He lays off the letter-high fastball, and he walks to open the 7th. So Wells opens the door and lets trouble in.
Out with Ron Shooter last season for the Oakland Athletics.
And a first baseman for La Russa with the White Sox before that. There he goes. Pitch down and in. No chance. Trot in there, Ricky.
David Wells.
There he goes for 3rd. It's ball 4. Here's the throw, and he's in there.
Wow, he hit that bag hard on the dive. Was that the left shoulder? Some say that's how he has hurt the shoulder with that dive, larger than the one he uses during the regular season. There
they got him picked off. The throw to second hits Lansford in the back.
E3.
Here comes Henderson.
Tony Fernandez gave the target to Freddie McGriff inside the bag when they had him picked off. Lansford may have veered just a little bit into the path of the poor throwing arm. He couldn't play the outfield. The arm was too weak. Freddie's arm was pretty strong, but he just threw it errantly.
Here's Fernandez drifting under Parker's pop-up. And it's the first out here in the last half of the 7th. On that last play, you charge an error to McGriff for allowing Henderson to come home from 3rd.
An 8-1 ball game in Detroit for an off day, and then Baltimore came into the Sky Dome.
And the Cubs from Chicago. We'll give it to you as soon as we have a chance here, which will come after this commercial. Dave Henderson fans to end the inning. The A's push another one across. Some genteel fans in a couple of deals involving other quality pitchers. He went from Texas to the Dodgers in Ricky Henderson. The 4 steals in this game is not just a record for a playoff game. Playoffs, after all, have only been in place since 1969. Hit sharply through the hole, a base hit for Liriano. He's 1 for 2 with a walk today. But the 4 steals are a record for any postseason game, including the World Series dating back to 1903. From our sources in Chicago, the temperatures would be in the 30s at game time tonight. Not so, says Mr. Coleman. This gets away from Hasse, and Liriano goes to second with nobody out. Big turn.
It looked like a pass ball. And Lloyd Mosby's going to
are wearing either shirts on a warm day like this or jackets with the initials ABG, A. Bartlett Giamatti, as they will through the playoffs and World Series. Mosby has a walk.
He's going to be taken all the way, force him to throw 2 strikes.
He couldn't even throw 1. The bases are loaded. A single, and then back-to-back walks with a 5-run lead. But the potential tying run, in theory, is on deck with the bases loaded here. Eckersley inherits a 2-0 count on McGriff, who lines one solidly to right. Canseco coming over. It drops in front of him for a hit. They'll play it 1 station at a time. The bases remain loaded, and Bell comes to the plate as the tying run in a 6-2 game. McGriff's first hit of the series were by 8 different players. Bell was not one of them. Ground ball, might be 2. There's 1. Weiss on to McGuire, double play. They get a run, but at a very high cost. Mosby comes across, and it's 6-3. Hit or a walk or something, and you bring the tying run to the plate.
That was not an easy double play because Phillips had
Here's
to unload
Phillips
in a hurry.
again. Busy day, and he's been flawless.
He had to unload in a hurry, and Weiss had to come from deep short, playing Bell as a pull-hitter. We'll be back, folks. Blue Jays had a chance.
Oakland's record of 48-18 in day games. Sometimes stats like that are misleading. They're flukes. But it was worth mentioning here because the vast majority of those day games were played in this park. Hasse reaches for one, rolls it down to McGriff. They play more afternoon games than most clubs. The Cubs and the Red Sox would be exceptions. They play more than anybody. Rose in 1980 also had an 8-assist game.
And he got a chance to play more because Weiss went down. Gallego plays those 60 games at shortstop. Phillips with over 500 at-bats during the regular season, and he was supposed to be their jack-of-all-trades, kind of a roamer. He's become, at least for the first 2 games, a little mini hero.
Rene Latchman, they're up by 3. 2 outs, nobody on. He's looking to get on track. Let him rip if he wants. But that one wasn't close enough. So on 4 pitches, he draws a 2-out walk. Trailing by 3, these are the Toronto hitters scheduled in the 9th. Ernie Witt with 15 total steals, set by the Mets and Dodgers last year in a 7-game set. They've got him picked off. McGriff's throw, and they finally get somebody.
McGriff had a lot more on that throw. He didn't lob it, he rifled it.
That's the first man caught stealing for either side. The A's have 10 steals.
He had shoulder surgery, ineligible. He's just here to have a look in postseason play.
Left field this time. Henderson looking through the glare and tucking it away.
You know, along with what we were saying Ernie Witt putting the ball foul and hard, just paint that outside corner with it. A lot of guys swing at bad pitches way outside.
Gruber hits it very well. Henderson turns, looking up, making the catch on the run in front of the 375 sign. And it would be up to Jimmy Key in game 3 against Storm Davis. The 1-2 pitch. Little pop. Weiss wants it. The A's win 2 at home.